Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube universe, what is going on with you on this Monday afternoon? It is Monday, March 25th, 2024, roughly 12:20 p.m. California time. I am, of course, your always gracious host, Fallon from GoNootropics.com. Coming at you with the coffee. Cheers. This is day number 8, baby. I guess I'll just keep doing these updates for a while. Probably, day 1 through 10 is pretty reasonable, right? Pretty reasonable. There's really not much to say after day number 7, at least in my case. But I think it's important to document, maybe at least the first 10 days. Although I think there does need to come a time where you stop scrawling the days into the prison cell wall, right? I saw a guy on Reddit not too long ago, day number 289, right? It's like, you have to stop counting eventually. If you're at day number 289 still scrawling the days into the wall, it's like you're done. You're done. Just walk away, right? You're out of the cell. You don't have to keep scrawling the days into the wall. Day number 289, it's like eventually you have to walk away, because every day you scrawl the days into the wall, it's kind of like the Kraken still has that little bit of pull inside of you, right? The Kraken still has a little bit of power over you. So, yeah, in the beginning, it's important to track the days and to keep track. But day number 289, walk away, do something else, right? Don't be scrawling the days forever, You don't want to be on your deathbed. Day number 10,081 off Kratom, right? Eventually just walk away from the ocean. So today is day number 8. Last night was another great night of sleep. The restlessness is still there, but beyond day number 7 for me, that's when things really start to come around, and the restlessness it's still there, but it's not quite as intense, and each day it just keeps getting better. So yesterday, yes, the restless legs, the restless arms were still there, but it's like the intensity is getting turned down. It's like if you just take the volume knob and just turn it down, after day 7, that volume knob just kind of keeps turning and turning and turning. And beyond day 7, sleep is possible. And every day you sleep, it's just you wake up feeling better as your body restores itself. As your sleep returns, that's when you really start seeing these big leaps and changes. And the Kraken, you can start to see him off in the distance, and he's just slowly fading away, right? That's the power of the rear view mirror. It's just like you could see it as you just speed off. You could see the Kraken in the rear view mirror getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's the power of the mirror, baby. Just seeing that Kraken get smaller and smaller and smaller. Documenting and congratulating yourself, days 1 through 10, or it might take you a little longer. In that case, yeah, track your days until things start to improve. But eventually just, leave the Kraken behind for good. Eventually the Kraken is going to be so small. But as long as you keep counting the days, the Kraken is still inhabiting your mind to a certain degree. And he's still in the rearview mirror as long as you're continuing to think about the Kratom, right? So in this video, I wanted to cover a little bit of like the cold turkey versus the tapering thing. I'm of the opinion that the cold turkey is just the best way to go. Cold turkey, just get it out of your system. I don't think a tapering program is going to work well for the majority of people. especially if you have, like, if you are an addict, if you're like me and you are an addict, I just don't think it's possible for most people to stick to a tapering program. For the addict, it's just not possible. And let's be honest, I think most people are addicted to Kratom despite what you see. Like, if you go on Reddit, the Kratom community, they love to say that they're not addicted and they're not addicts and this and that and all. They only take Kratom a few times a week. But I'm thinking in my head, it's just so weird. It's like, how does a non-addicted person form a community around Kratom? It's like everybody in that community, it's like the Kraken is the campfire. The Kraken is this thing that they all gather around. And they're like over there bowing down to the Kratom, like, how much did you take? How much? I just bought this strain. And I really prefer the greens over the reds, or the reds over the whites. And I'm just sitting there seeing these conversations unfold. And it's like, these people are saying they're not addicted. It just seems to me that somebody who's not addicted wouldn't seek out like a community of people who are all surrounding the Kratom, and this is what I took, and this is what I like, and they're logging in every day to the community. It's just like, to a person who's truly not addicted. And I do think there are people out there who use Kratom in a truly medicinal form. It's something that they've got in their cupboard right next to the salt. It's almost like Kratom to the non-addicted person. It's just like the salt in the cabinet. It's not even on their brain. In fact, they forget to take it. They forget they even have it, right? To the truly non-addicted person, it's like it might as well be the salt, or it might as well be the pepper in the cupboard. But they're certainly not logging into Reddit every day, bowing down to the Kraken, starting conversations. And like, the Kratom has become their life, right? You look into their post history and just comment after comment, replies, and all the commentary. It's like, this seems to be the behavior of somebody who is addicted to Kratom. If you're joining communities and this and that, and that's fine to me. But don't say you're not addicted to Kratom. You're here logging into the community every day, basically obsessing over the thing, right? Obsessing over the Kratom. I just don't think somebody who's not addicted to Kratom would belong to a community at all, because it's so low on their radar of things. It's like, it might as well be the salt for the truly non-addicted person. It might as well be the salt. And, what do we know about addicts? Do we know that addicts lie about how much they use, and they lie about when they're using it and how much and this and that? We know that about addicts. So I don't believe for a second that these people in the pro-Kratom community are not addicted. I do believe there's people out there, but I would say for a good chunk of the people out there, they're also addicted to Kratom and just kind of in this denial phase, which is fine, but at least admit it. They hate to hear you talk about the drug-like nature of Kratom. They hate to hear you talk about the opioid properties, the drug-like nature of Kratom. And in the heads of the Fogberts of the world, it's like, if they're using Kratom to treat such and such thing, like, that means they're not addicted, right? But I take Kratom for this or that. I take Kratom for blah, 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 chronic fatigue syndrome. I still think you can be addicted to something, even if you're using it for like a medicinal purpose. So this just goes back to, I think for 90% of people out there, cold turkey is the right approach, because the addict is just not going to stick to a tapering program very long. Try the tapering program. I'm not saying don't try it, But if you're finding yourself taking more kratom than your tapering program allows, I think you just got to come to terms with quitting cold turkey, quitting suffering through that pain, And I think that's the other benefit of quitting cold turkey is you really get to suffer through the pain, and you look back on that pain, once after you're off, after day 7, day 8, day 9, and you look back on that pain, and that pain does keep you from going back to it to a certain degree. However small it is, you do tend to remember the pain you went through the cold turkey kratom withdrawals, and that helps you in the future. And I think cold turkeying through the pain, I just think that gives you a certain type of resolve, right, to deal with future problems. In the future, if you deal with a problem and you kind of have to power through, I think the cold turkey approach really bolsters your brain to fight through hard problems in your life. And I think that's like another benefit to cold turkey is if you fight through that pain, you just come out stronger, right? You come out stronger. The promise of the tapering is like it's supposed to reduce the pain. Isn't that what they say? Like the tapering reduces the amount of pain you have to go through. And I've never done the tapering. If you've done the tapering successfully, drop a comment and let us know what your experience was like if you successfully tapered. I just think that even with the tapering, you're going to still be going through pain, but it's just going to be drawn out. You're going to be dealing with like 6 months of just nagging symptoms, right? Yeah, they might not be as intense, but you're still going to be dealing with these nagging symptoms as you drop your dose. And I can't see personally myself wanting to deal with 3 months, 6 months of just low level nagging. For me, I just think deal with a week of the more harder acute symptoms of withdrawals and just be done with it versus 3 months, 6 months of just constant low level nagging. So that's just my take on it here on day number 8, just rolling back the tapes. I was going to take that small dose at night, but it just prolongs it. If I was taking that one dose at night, I wouldn't be here in this moment, feeling like I do, starting to feel better on day number 8. I would still be dragging this whole process out. And I don't think cold turkey is beyond anybody. I think anybody could quit cold turkey, right? And thinking back, wanting to do the taper, wanting to take that little dose at night was just like an excuse to keep taking the kratom. It's just kind of an excuse. It's an excuse to keep using the kratom. And it's just, you don't want to let the precious go. You don't want to go through the pain. And I think going with the tapering is just trying to avoid the inevitable pain that you're going to feel no matter what. So in my mind, just getting it out of your system, doing the cold turkey is the superior method. But you guys let me know in the comments, what do you think? Have you tried a tapering program? What's your opinion, tapering versus cold turkey, right? There's more than one way to skin a cat, but I think the cold turkey is the best way to skin the cat. But I'm not the expert. This is not my first rodeo, but a lot of you guys have gone through this. So if you have tapered successfully and you use that to quit and it worked, let us know in the comments. I think if it works, do it. Try it. But if you find yourself upping your dose and taking more than your tapering program allows, you just got to come to terms with cold turkey. And I think for the majority of people, cold turkey is just the best way to do it. Just block off time if you have to, right? The symptoms can be debilitating. Like for me on the bike, The bike is my only form of transportation, so it's like even on days 3 or 4 where I was really feeling in a bad way, I still had to get on the bike, and I found it, yeah, it was brutal, but it was like doable. I didn't find the symptoms so debilitating that I was kind of chained down to the bed. But yeah, it's going to be tough. But is it out of reach? Is going cold turkey so out of reach for most people? I really don't think so. I think you can do it cold turkey. You block off the time you need, take time off of work if you have to, and just get it done and bury the horse for good. Just get it over with and never take another crack. So that is the video of the day, ladies and gentlemen. As always, Fallon, GoNootropics.com. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you very soon. Peace.